Hi guys, how are we all doing? Back again with another tips and tricks type video. I've been pretty slack, I haven't been doing this sort of thing, but now I want to try and give you guys a few ideas of the stuff that I use that makes my job a little bit easier. So this morning I want to talk about grinders, die grinders, sanders, and using a drill as a sander as well. One of the most important things that I find with grinders is that your average 4-inch grinder spins at about 10,000 RPM, and there's no choice. You turn it on, it's at 10,000 RPM. Some of the bigger 125mm disc grinders are also the same. They spin too fast. One of the critical things when you're restoring and using and doing metal work, especially outside body work on a car, is to have a grinder that you can control. So this is a Bosch GWS 15125 CITH. It's the heavy duty one. It's called a rat tail sander because of the tail on it. It's got a good grip. Let's turn him on. So okay, normally a grinder would start that speed. This one's got a variable speed for up to number 6 from number 1. And if I go right down to number 1, and you'll see how slow this thing can spin. Rotating that disc at a slower speed makes a very big difference to how much control you've got over it and what you can achieve with it. And of course you've always got the higher rev range if you need it. So yeah, variable speed is critical. My die grinder is Makita. Let me read the code off this one for you. GD08180C. GD08180C, and it's variable speed as well. You can see in the back there the dial, and it starts off fantastically slow. You know, put the finger on there, that's not even hardly even spinning. And you can increase it of course right up to 7,000 RPM. Such a big advantage. You know, we use these burrs inside of in this machine, in the die grinder. If I can get the bloody thing out of the packet. So just use a burr like that. You get them in all different shapes. They teardrop, they round a head. There's a rounder head that I've welded onto a bar so I can get into tight spots. And they're really good for cleaning rust out of the way. You find in a lot of cases when you go to sand corrosion, you receive rust on the inside of a panel, on the outside of a panel, and you use your normal grinding disc or your flapper disc, and you start to get into the corrosion and the rust, but you think, oh, this just seems to be just heating it up and it's not clearing it out of the way at all. And it's really difficult with a flapper disc because they get clogged up with the rust, and stops the disc from working. So one of the ways I avoid that, or and able to get rid of the rust out of the way, is using these burrs. They're really sharp and they actually lift the rust out of the way and leave the good metal behind for you. So I'll use that one in a drill, like a cordless drill. And of course you can slow the speed on your cordless as well. And just get in there and do little tight. And it's really good for peeling out the rust itself. Another one that I'll use, which is diamond encrusted, is this wheel that you see on the sander here, the grinder here. So that's diamond encrusted edge. and that is perfect, just brilliant for getting rid of rust on the inside of a panel where it's all sort of built up a little bit and you're trying to clear all the crap out of the way. This delivers a really good result. Mind you though, the lower speed is what you need, because you can actually damage the panel with this, because it bites in and it gets rid of all the crap very easily. The other ones that I use are the flapper discs, which are great. 60 grit and 40 grit. I don't go any coarser than 40 grit. I don't know if you can actually buy them coarser than 40 grit. I don't think you can. Anyway, they're really good, but they're mainly for sanding your weld joints to clean them up, or getting ready to do a corner where a MIG weld is. That's mainly what you use them for. I wouldn't use them to sand a panel in preparation for bogging it up. The other way you go with them is you, for do an outside panel, you use a big sanding disc machine, buffer machine, and that's the disc you put on it. So you can cover a larger area. It's very hard to cover a large area with a disc this size. This one makes it a lot easier. And you need to make sure your pattern is across the panel like that, in a nice even spread. None of this up and down and digging the grinder into the panel. You're taking metal away. You only want to just rough the surface so that the filler can be added and it's got a bit to bond onto. So another one that I use in the variable speed rat tail is the cutting disc, which is the 1mm. Choose a good brand, go Preferred or Makita or something like that. Don't go and buy the old cheapo ones, because all you do is end up throwing them in the rubbish or giving them to your best mate. Yeah, Preferred is really good. They last and they cut well. And the beauty of being able to slow it down with this machine is you've got so much more control when you might be cutting a section out to do a rust repair. The tool and the consumable that goes into it is very important. Alright, so another one that I use, which is good for cleaning up panels, especially if they've got corrosion on them. So you might have a full panel that's got corrosion on the inside or the outside, say like surface rust or just a light pitting happening. This is a wheel that's done by 3M. Again, buy the quality one, spend the extra money. This is a encrusted nylon wheel. It's encrusted with diamonds or diamond dust, and it's amazing what that's capable of. That is just, and you only have to use it lightly. It's not something that you have to bury into the panel, because you can imagine when you're using a tool like a grinder or a sander on a panel and you're actually burying it in to get a result, you're heating the panel as well, which creates distortion across the panel. So that's another good one. That's worthwhile grabbing hold of, getting some of those for your resto. 3M, and they've got diamonds in them, diamond pieces or diamond dust, and they perform very well, very high performance. You get quite a distance out of one of those discs. They're not cheap. They're about $20 a disc, but man, they can save you some heartache. You know, a lot of guys will go in under their car and do a wire wheel job, and you would know yourself if you'd done the wire wheel job. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Might take the top off for a little while, but man, all it's doing is heating up the corrosion, the iron oxide, or whatever you want to call it, the rust itself, and pushing it around. It doesn't actually remove it. These things are 200 times better. 200 times better. If you're doing the underneath of your car or the floor on the inside, grab yourself a couple of these and just give them a whirl. You only need a basic cordless drill to put them into. They clean like you would not believe. They are the #1 secret in getting rid of surface rust. Yeah, anyway, I guess that's about all with the take on this. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say, if you're using this disc to cut out a shape in your door panel where the rust is, and if you're going down into the bottom corner of the door, and I see this so many times, the #1 rule, and it makes it easier for your welding, it makes it easier for distortion. You don't cut square edges. You don't cut this wheel into the edge. Use a step drill first and drill the corners with the step drill so you've got a radius to cut to. Don't cut it square into each cut, because welding into that, making a patch to weld into that is a disadvantage right from the word go. Let me just grab a bit of steel so I can have a look at a straight edge. If you cut your door panel so that it's going to have a replacement panel put in and it's shaped like this, you're asking for all sorts of trouble. When you weld from there to there and right into that tight edge, and then from there to there into that tight edge, and the same again, it just builds up so much more distortion when you come into this point with two welds like that. If you've got a radius on it, doesn't necessarily have to be that big, it might only be the size of a 20-cent piece, but you need a radius on these corners so when you go to weld, the transition of weld is in a circle, in a radius, not a sharp edge like that. Don't do it, it's not good. Always have a radius, always, even if it's only a very tiny one, size of a 5-cent piece, it makes life easier for you. Anyway, happy restoring. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's the first time I've ever said that. I'm kind of new to all this sort of stuff, but I hope you guys get something out of it. I hope it's making a difference to how you progress. Thanks for watching.